going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chucky, I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm Rich.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great day so far. Happy Wednesday. Halfway through the week. We're getting there. Getting to the weekend. All right. I've got some courts. Got a lot of court tonight. I've got a longer video. I think it's about an hour and 10 minutes in total. So with all of my talking, it'll probably end up being 3.5 hours long. You know how I do. All right. So what do we have tonight? The first clip on the docket is a follow-up. You guys are gonna recognize her. It's the person that had all the I don't know if it's attitude. I don't know what to call her, but she's pro se. She's just trying to plead guilty and ignore all the court stuff. And it's not going well for her. And yeah. That's the first clip. Then I've got a Webster, I've got an Oakley, I've got a lot of Judge Simpson, and I've got a Judge Washington. I think that's tonight's video. All right. So let's do it. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go. Wait, someone just said. Yeah, I got that. That was in Colin, right? That was who told me that? CE told me that she was in Colin, and I was waiting for Valentine, so I actually got both of them. I didn't put Rosebud into the clip though. Nothing really. Just to complete the cycle, I may play it tomorrow night, but it wasn't really that interesting. It was kind of weird, I guess, but not that interesting. I guess neither was the Valentine case, but I put her in here because I've been following it. Anyways, yeah, let's just go. Let's go. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
Number 43, People versus Rebecca Valentine, 24900 FA.
Sorry, thank you, Jonathan Evans, on behalf of the people. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that she's representing.
Oh, dude in the top right. I don't know if he's waving at Mrs. Valentine. I don't know, but he seems really happy to see somebody.
Herself.
That is true. That's my understanding as well.
Ms. Valentine, if you can hear us, can you put your name on the record, please?
Rebecca Valentine.
All right, Ms. Valentine, is it your request to represent yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Today is the date and time set for pretrial in this matter. Despite the fact of your location, we oddly do not have fingerprints in this file. So you're going to need to work with somebody to make sure that fingerprints get attached to this file, okay?
Somebody must know how to do that because I don't work here. But I want to plead guilty.
Yeah. Yep. Couple of things, Your Honor. I know that Ms. Valentine was at the PCC and she had previously indicated a desire and wish to plead guilty as charged. It's going to be important that she recognizes that she does have the right to have an attorney, and that if she chooses to represent herself, that she knows that there are court rules and expectations that would be put upon her. Oh, I'm starting to lose my voice. And that she's going to have to comply with those expectations. I will say one thing that I know that Ms. Valentine might not be aware of. Maybe she is. I don't know. She is with 2 counts of assault on a prison employee. I would tell her that I have her guidelines calculated at 12 to 24 on each of the counts because this is something that happens in a prison. If she were to plead guilty, they would run, and I believe that they would run consecutive to her underlying charge. And it would be one R&O to run consecutive, and then a second R&O to run consecutive. So I know that
that's tacking on an additional 4 years.
Right, so that's, I want to make sure that she understands that's clear. My understanding is that her maximum out date is 2026. So, if there's no plea or if there's no sentence agreement or no negotiation between her, and it's difficult for me to get in touch with her because she is in the prison system to have any of those negotiations. She could be, adding on a number of years beyond her parole date, which might be an unintended consequence. So I want to make sure that she understands all of that. And if she understands that, and she's going to represent herself, understanding the pros and cons of that, she's free to make that request. I would not recommend it, but.
Well, here's the deal, Ms. Valentine. There's a lot at stake right now, and in the true nature of the blue light special, happy days for the public defender. I'm appointing the Washtenaw County Public Defender to represent you in this matter until the next pretrial. So I'm going to give you an attorney.
I don't want representation from anyone besides myself, and I want to enter a guilty plea. That's my right, and that's what I want to do.
Okay, well, I'm going to adjourn this to December 18th to do that then. So I'm going to let you think about what Mr. Emmons just said. I am appointing
I
the
heard
public
his
defender.
little interesting speech, but I'm not concerned about what he said. I had told you what I wanted to do, and that's what I'm going to do.
Well, the fact that you identify my speech as so interesting makes me feel like somehow you're going to later claim that somehow you were unadvised. So I wasn't that interesting.
That makes
And
me
you have
feel like
certain
you're
rights.
calling me a liar, and I feel like that's not the case at all. It could actually be the other way around.
Okay.
I'm a very honest person. I'll be doing what I said I would.
Okay. Well, I'll see you back here on December 18th. And if you want to represent yourself and enter a plea that day, I will do that. But I'm going to give you until then to think about it. So that concludes the hearing today. I'll see you back here then.
Have a good day.
Number 19, People versus Michael Kyle, 24830.
Hold on a second. Before we finish this completely, Mr. Emmons, if you could sum up what you just said in writing, and I don't know how you communicate that to the defendant.
I will
copy me and copy the court, and at least it's in writing then, your analysis, so that there's no question down the road. Okay?
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. What are we doing?
All right. Yeah. That one was fun. I'm gonna put all three of her appearances in one video, and I'm gonna release that either tomorrow or Friday, so it's all contained. And then she's coming back. When did they say? The 8th, I think. I need to look at my calendar what I wrote down, but she's fun. She's a fun one, right? Anyways, Heather, thank you so much for the super chat. And yes, it is absolutely true. I did hit 16,000 subscribers about an hour and a half ago. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Holstein Milker? Thank you for your thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Sorry for butchering your name. I am terrible at reading names. I really am. Should have picked a different line of work. But I do appreciate the super chat. Heather and Holstein Milker, thank you so much. And we got a big and raid. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Big in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Chris became a new member. This was a perfect clip to start the video. Chris, thank you. Welcome to the family. Much appreciated. Big in. Thank you so much for the raid, my friend. I do appreciate it. Everyone that's just rolling in, you missed a follow-up clip that I started the video with. I just threw at the beginning of the video. It's a case that we've been following on this channel, so I wanted to put the quick follow-up. But tonight's just going to be a grab bag of randomness that happened today. No old clips. Everything happened today. So get ready. And Biggin, you are awesome. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you guys for the super chats. You are awesome. And Heather, thank you so much for the congrats on the 16,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go. We are headed Judge Webster. This one's kind of funny. This actually, it's charming more than funny. But yeah, Judge Webster, let's go.
Let's take up Mr. Zuck. We will be on the record in 2024 TR20.
Blue Strat, dude, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Welcome to the family. Just a quick pause since we just started this. Wow. Very generous super chat. Thank you so much. Holstein Milker, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. That is awesome. Extremely generous. Blue Stat, dude, thank you for becoming a new member. And Holstein Milker, much appreciated. Very generous. Thank you. Okay. Judge Webster, let's go.
3-8, State of Kansas versus Cecil James Zilke.
Yes, ma'am.
And Jared Regier appears for the state. Mr. Zilke.
Holstein Milker. Holstein. Is that how you say it? Isn't there an I in it? Wouldn't it be Holstein? Okay, Holstein. I believe you, Jedi. I believe you. Holstein Milker. Got it.
In person and pro se on one count, driving while suspended after a prior conviction. That prior would elevate this to a Class A non-person misdemeanor. The penalties include a must-serve minimum 5 days, up to a year in jail. It also has a possible fine up to $2,500. And my understanding is that the prior would exclude diversion. Do you wish to have an attorney since there is some mandatory must-serve jail time, Mr. Zilke?
Well, Madam Judge, I have a couple questions about that.
All right.
How does a 15-year-old charge constitute second?
How does it constitute a prior conviction?
Yes, ma'am. 15 years. 15 years.
15 years. Well, the legislature did not put a time limit on how far back the state was to look. And so the answer is,
My understanding was that was supposed to fall
legislature.
off my record after 7 years, and this is 15 years.
Well, you'll need to talk to the legislature about that, or an attorney that represents your interests. So again, do you want to talk to an attorney about that? You're looking at some mandatory jail time, just reminding.
Yes, I understand that, and let me retract and back up here. I didn't mean to disrespect your court. I literally got kicked out of my house. My girlfriend and I broke up, and I got kicked out of my house. I didn't even know I was supposed to be in court this morning until I called the court this morning. So I showed up to court late because I called the court, and she was like, "Oh, well, you're supposed to be in court right now." I was like, "Oh, can you give me that?" I apologize to you. I apologize to prosecutor. Yes, thank you. I never meant any disrespect to you guys.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So we can move on from there. We're okay there.
Madam Judge, I'm a country boy from Kansas. The only trouble I've ever been in involves cars and alcohol. Okay, that's just me.
Okay. So do you understand though that you are facing a charge? So
I get my license back.
My question is, do you want to hire an attorney, apply for court appointed, or waive your right to attorney? Is that jail time mandatory?
December 22nd.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
I can get my license back on December 22nd.
All right. Do you want to?
Again, it's everything that I've ever done involves alcohol and cars. So I can reinstate my license December 22nd. So if there's any possible way that we could maybe continue it, and then when I get my license back, I'll bring it to the court, and I'll bring it to Madam Judge, and I'll be.
Oh, man. Of course, editing mistake. Judge Simpson, it's not your turn yet. It's not your turn yet, Judge Simpson. Calm down. All right. Hopefully I skipped far enough where we pass that.
License back. I'll bring it to the court, and I'll bring it to Madam Judge, and I'll be like, hey, my license is back.
I can't negotiate with you.
I'm not asking.
Mr. Regier, the prosecutor might.
I apologize.
Okay,
That's not what,
hang on. Mr. Regier, the prosecutor can negotiate with you. He brought the
wow.
charges.
And I was talking and I'm muted. Now Judge Simpson definitely needs to see me in the back. I haven't played this in a while. I'm supposed to play it every time I make an editing mistake.
Back, please. And
Negotiate with you.
Okay.
What I can do is set the matter for trial and hear the facts and see if there's enough evidence to convict or not. And if there is, then I would decide what your consequence would be. But at this stage,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I understand what you're saying now. And I apologize earlier. I wasn't the one talking to my girlfriend. I'm sitting in the house with 3 dogs, huh?
all right. Okay. So
and when I sent that text message, I thought that was going to your bailiff. I
okay.
thought that was going to you.
You sent that, I think, to everybody. All right. Well, Mr. Zilke, I just need to know, are you going to have an attorney or you represent yourself?
Well, thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate that. But regardless, I apologize. I never.
Your apologies are accepted. Now, don't worry about it anymore. Just don't do it again and move on, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So are you going to have an attorney? Or are you going
I don't really think I need an attorney if we can have a sidebar to.
Well, I'm not doing a sidebar. And I don't have time for Mr. Regier and you to talk today.
Me and the prosecutor have a little sidebar.
Not today. I don't have time.
I can diversion from there, I think. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think they'll divert a second one, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
The first one was 15 years ago.
All right.
See, now you're doing what I did.
All right. I am going to continue this, the time to count against you, not the state, to February 26th at 9 a.m.
Thank you, ma'am.
That'll give you time to do whatever you're going to do to get your license back.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And then that'll let you do whatever you want to do to look at diversion, talk to the county attorney, to hire an attorney. Whatever you want to do, that'll give you
I
time
don't want
to
to
do
pay
it.
the money to buy an attorney, but you know, if prosecutor and I can talk to each other and.
All right, so are you going to waive your right to an attorney and talk to the prosecutor yourself? Because he's not going to want to talk to you except through your attorney or if you waive your right to counsel.
How about I just shut up?
Okay, but this time I need an answer. Do you want an attorney or do you not? This time I do need you to say something. Yes or no? Do you want to hire an attorney if you cannot afford
I still seek counsel if I say I'll take my continuance.
Well, I don't want to waste the 3 months in between. I want you to, if you're going to want to talk to the attorney, he's going to want a waiver.
Well, so I work out of Spirit, and I work. I actually pay.
Some prepaid legal stuff.
Yes, ma'am. There you go. Thank you.
What? Okay, there you go. Perfect. You can talk to your prepaid legal. And they can give you some ideas from there.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. So that's what we're going to do. You've got the address for diversion if you want to look at it, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You've got Mr. Regier's number, and you're going to talk to prepaid legal, and they're going to give you some idea on how you want to wrap all this up. So please don't be in the same, I don't know, state today when I see you in a couple of months, okay? Have something moving forward.
Madam Judge, this literally is my first court appearance on the phone. So I wasn't so aware of the rules and stuff, and I really apologize for.
We're moving on from there. You're good. We're moving on. Not to
I
worry.
never do that. I apologize.
And I told you that's accepted and we're moving on and you don't have to worry about that as long as you don't repeat
Yes,
it.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good deal.
Judge, he needs process.
Oh, you need process. Okay. You need to take a breakout room with this deputy and because it's your second driving while suspended, I'm going to set the bond at 2,000 OR. You won't have to put the money up unless you fail to divert or come to court or whatever you're required to do. So go in that breakout room, get your picture and prints taken. If
Yes,
you
ma'am.
don't do it at the date and time he tells you, you're going to probably get a warrant and get arrested.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Aguirre, on this case?
No, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right. Court security, you need anything before I let him go to you?
No, just need to hit that join button.
All right. Missy, if you'll put Mr. Zilke and Mr. Deputy in the breakout room. Should come
Do I
up
hit
the
the
screen.
chat?
No?
Join. Eve. Join. Okay.
There you go. Just click on that. Okay.
I told you that was a funny one. Yeah, it got kind of annoying towards the end, but it was funny. I got some catching up to do. Sparkle Poots, thank you so much for the 10 months. I appreciate that. It's awesome. 10 months. Awesome, Sparkle. Is 8. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Because today's a great day. Congrats on 16K. Thank you. Today is a great day. I'm glad you're having a great day too. Dorina with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Dorina, and welcome to the 5 new members. Thank you so much. And Duval for more J. clone prosecutors. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Duval. I appreciate the super chat. All right. We're jumping to Judge Oakley now. We're shifting a little bit. And this one kind of frustrated me a little bit. It's not a long case. It's only about 5 or 6 minutes long, so I'm going to let it play in its entirety, and I'm going to tell you exactly why it frustrated me at the end. Let's see if you guys can pick up on it. All right, but yeah, I'm going to keep it at that. Okay, let's go.
Wait, all the texting that I do is actually considered rude in texting culture.
Why are you doing all caps?
Oh, the thumbs up is considered rude.
By who?
I don't know. The K considered rude.
Oh, screw
Those are my go-to.
My daughter gave me hell about the case. She says, really, you can't just hit okay? I'm like, do you know what I mean?
For brevity. So the fourth, right?
Yes.
Judge, be able to file on Courtney Fickling?
Fickling with an F?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yes. Appearances.
Morning, Your Honor, petition manager for the people, PK 4088.
Fickling. Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Fickling, Your Honor, she is approaching. Fickling, can you state your name for the record, please?
Courtney Fickling.
Good morning.
Judge, we'd like to set this matter for a final pre-trial where the complainant must appear, and actually in this case, it would be officers and the.
Judge, so in this case, my understanding is complaining witness does not want to participate in prosecution. However, in short, this incident, as an offer of proof, this incident happened in front of two police officers who were both wearing body cams, which is why we are proceeding. He
Right.
does not want to. I would like to orally put defense counsel as a court on notice that I intend to proceed without complaining witness.
Then why do a final pretrial to make him show up? If she doesn't need the complainant.
Well, I was.
Trial. The officers are going to show up.
The officers aren't victims.
Yeah, but they're necessary to testify.
Yes, Judge.
Yeah. So yeah, if they don't show up, we'll get a dismissal that day.
Okay, so the police officers need to be present, both of them, or just one?
Well, I don't know your case, so whoever you need to present your case. Yeah. So can we just set a trial date and move it along?
Yeah, we just set a bench trial.
Okay. Really? Why? I mean, you got that much time on your hands?
No, I don't know how to answer that, Judge. I apologize.
Well, then I would go back to the final pretrial where the officer would have to appear, Judge.
Okay.
Judge, maybe approach briefly.
Sure.
So I'm not trying. It's not that I don't have time. I don't have time. I can't disobey.
That's a total waste of resources in your office is not it. You don't. That's fine. It's a jury trial.
Or
You know, I'm not afraid of jury trial. I just think it's
Yeah.
a waste of prosecutorial resources.
I agree.
Hell, I get to get 7 votes.
If you can just.
No, I'm not
I'll
gonna.
get you out because I'm not trying, but I'll agree to a bench trial on this one. Since we have it on video.
I'm not,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna put you in that position.
okay.
I mean, if you want to set a jury trial, set a jury trial.
Okay, I'll do bench. I'm comfortable doing, I can articulate reasons to my supervisors.
Okay, all right.
In the future.
We still
but-
need his calendar.
Gotta get it
Yeah.
for my
No,
calendar.
I won't call you out again.
Thank you, yeah, and in the future, that's, I'm not trying to be.
I hear you. I hear you.
Just put it on one of the different.
Yeah, he's gonna grab his calendar. Mr. Hadley, you got anything that's ready to go? What do you got?
Your Honor, the People versus Joyce Houston.
Houston, like the city.
Oh, you know what? I'm missing this Houston. I lied, Your Honor.
Okay.
Here. Calendar, Judge.
Heather, give Dan some dates.
December 23rd or December 30th, so both Mondays.
Ooh, Monday? Oh, I'm sorry, Heather, this would be a bench trial.
Yep.
Does
One come out on a different day.
The 30th.
23rd or 30th.
Can't do the third, if I could do this one, but.
Fair.
If you guys need another day, I can use another day.
If you can do another day, that would be excellent, please.
Monday, December 16th.
I can do that.
That works for the people.
You need that? Or would you need a little bit later in the morning, Dan?
Yeah, because it's a trial.
What day are we doing? I'm sorry.
I'm on call that day on the, can we do 11?
Should you go with 11?
Okay.
Yeah.
11 a.m.
I'll continue bond. And Miss Fickling, we're gonna get you a notice with that date on it.
When you guys any of that notice, can you just give provide notice as well? I'm back in the office and talk to me, okay? Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I saw a few of you were kind of confused what was going on. And I told you that it frustrated me, and this is why. The prosecutor asked for a jury trial, and the defense asked for a bench trial. Now, I didn't know this until just a couple months ago, that the prosecution also has a say-so in whether or not you have a jury trial or a bench trial. I absolutely think that the prosecution just got bullied out of a jury trial. I do. I love Judge Oakley. I do. He's a great judge. But when he called her out on, really, you have that much time? It's a waste of resources. That wasn't appropriate. And that's the first time I've ever seen Judge Oakley do something where I cringed. It's like, come on. Like that's what she asked for. She wanted a jury trial. I understand, bringing the attorneys up forward and talking to them, and you can discuss it off the record. I get that, but I just don't feel like that was handled appropriately. That's why I was frustrated. I did not agree with how Judge Oakley handled that. Do I agree with what he said? Absolutely. Bench over jury trial for, I don't remember what they said the case was about, but it seemed very straightforward. Yeah, it didn't make sense to me why Judge Oakley called her out like that. Anyways, let's move on. I got some super chats to call out. Cassie, thank you so much for the super chat. Your late fee, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Mary Smith, very generous of you. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Welcome to the 10 new members, 10 memberships. Thank you. That is very generous of you. Speaking of very generous, Sparkle Poots. Thank you so much for the PayPal. That is very generous of you. And thank you for congratulations on the 16K. It's yeah, we're still growing. Let's go. 25K, we're right around the corner. All right. Yeah, you guys might disagree with me with what I said with Joe Jokley, and that's fine. That's fine. It's just my opinion. I do like him. I love him as a judge. I didn't like that. I just didn't. I cringed a little bit. All right, let's move on. I think the rest of until the very end, the nightcap I have is Judge Washington, but I think we got about 30 minutes of straight Judge Simpson now. Okay, let's go.
Court does call the cases of the people versus Amadou Diane.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Diane. It should be on Zoom, Your Honor. Mr. Diane, please unmute and state your name for the record.
There it is.
Amadou Diane.
These are show cause.
Yes, okay. Your Honor, Mr. Diane owes like almost $2,000 on 2 driving suspended license cases.
Yes.
He is obviously having trouble paying these cases off. These cases stemmed out of, frankly, an inability to pay for his license, which is now snowballed into these cases in other jurisdictions, and has saddled him with a very large amount that has to be paid back to the courts. I think Mr. Diane, acknowledges that his fault in these cases. However, it's become almost unbearable for him trying to take care of himself, his family, and all of these files. He is asking that the court consider reducing any of the fines and costs. I believe he mentioned that he filled out an ability to pay form. I don't know if the court is in receipt of that.
I don't have that in front of me or haven't seen it, I don't think.
But again, he's just asking for the court's consideration today.
What I'm going to do on this is I'm going to indicate defendants to pay $25 per month on each of these cases. That begins January 15th, 2025.
Okay.
So it's going to be $50 a month. Let's see where he goes with that. It's hard to say, to ask me to reduce the fines and costs when you've done nothing. All right. Thank you.
You get all that, Mr. Diane?
And this is where, that was a yes or no question. You just got what you wanted. You got a payment plan. Your attorney did a great job. Yes or no question. Just say yes and back out. No, never that easy.
Can you guys hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Did you get what I said?
No, I didn't get it. It went in and out. I couldn't hear you. So I apologize.
I can call him after today.
I'm ordering $50, but per month, but you're to pay $25 per month. I'm not going to start that until January 15, 2025. So pay 25 on each case.
Yes, Your Honor. If I may speak.
Go ahead.
Can I? All right. So, court, I just want to be done with it more than the court want to be done with it. I do have a lot of cases. As you said I haven't done anything. I have been trying to do something with the other court, but the thing is, I do have an issue and I'm aware of it. I have been trying to work and I realize that that's not my best way of doing things. I have anxiety as I speak now. It's like I have seen myself within a therapist and all of that for that. At this point, when I actually reduce the cost because I want to be done with it as much as this court want to be done with it. We've been dealing with this 7 years and I've been trying to do too much at the same time. I have 5 other court that I'm dealing with. And when I go through that mode and depression, I don't do anything. And it's not like I essentially do that. It's because it's just a lot under play. I got family issues. I got things that I'm dealing with that cause me an anxiety. I do have a job. If you look at a record, I always had a job. And sometimes I miss court and that become a warrant and I'm not aware of it. And then I get fixed up on. So it's like, this is the only thing that holding me back. And I'm not making no excuses, Your Honor. I know I made a mistake and I'm here to deal with it, whatever that, but I just want to be done with it because I've been in the hospital many times and the issue like this because I'm dealing with much and it's hard for me to speak when I go to there. You have an anxiety attack and going through all of that. I have asked the court for jail, not because I want to go to jail, because I was frustrated not only with myself and everything that's in front. I don't know where to start. So I will put if you reduce this fine, you charge me for a repeat offender. Yes, I was, and at this point I have changed. I have gotten my license, but I still got so much to go. I don't still to this day, I don't know where to start with that $25 a month or 2 weeks. It sounds good, but at some point I'm gonna miss the other court and I get picked up on it. I'm not intentionally doing this, Your Honor. I'm not, like I said, I'm not making no excuses. I'm a hardworking person. You can see that as I'm always at work, and that's why the job works. I always allow me to come back, even though I was picked up on this here, and I have let people know what's going on with me. At this point,
Sir, it
yes.
becomes hard for me to do anything, as I'm explaining to your attorney, when nothing's been done. I get it. But why don't you do this? Talk to your attorney. I've ordered what I've ordered, and let's see where we can go from there. Okay?
All right, Your Honor. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, he already won. He already won. He owes $2,000. He's barely paid anything in 7 years. And Judge Simpson just agreed to $50 a month. He's paying off two different cases. So $25 on each case, $50 a month. You already won, man. And then now he's asking Judge Simpson to cut his costs. Like, can you take off the total? Like, man, just pay $50 a month starting January for a couple months, come back for your review, and then ask that. If you're successful with that, judge might help you. Yeah, that was 2 or 3 minutes that we'll never get back. All right, we're staying with Judge Simpson. Let's go. This is actually an opposite. I think if this is the case, I think it is.
Thank you, Ms. Schilling.
Court calls case
Your
People
Honor.
versus Josh. You're welcome. People versus Joshua Sherry.
Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, this is the exact opposite of what just happened in that last case. This defendant makes the best speech of all time. I'm just going to flat out say it. He changes everyone in the court's perception of what's going on. And generally, I would say never talk. Just say, I'm sorry. Don't lie. Say, I'm sorry. And move on. But this guy nails it. And we need to copy this speech and let other people know how to do it, because this guy did a really good job.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good to see you. Robert Ellman with it on behalf of Mr. Sherry. Oh, yeah. No, okay. Okay. Yes, sir. Your name? Josh Bush. All right.
Mr. Sherry is before the court for a violation of probation hearing. Mr. Sherry is in violation of the terms of his probation in this case, in that there was use of assaultive, threatening, intimidating behavior. That behavior happened on August 16th of 2024. There was a police report that was provided to my office, public safety, and also an audio that was part of that incident. I can tell the court that there were no charges that were authorized as a result of that incident. However, the audio was shared with this court, and the threats that were made in that audio were quite they certainly were threatening and intimidating in nature. This court at that time did issue a bench warrant with the bond set at $50,000 cash or surety. The warrant has been out. Mr. Sherry did continue to report to probation. I did have a conversation with him at length about his behavior during that audio. And he did surrender himself to the jail on November 11th. Given also, Your Honor, I did receive some documentation from Mr. Ellman with some backstory as to the relationship between individuals regarding that other incident. However, at the end of the day, Mr. Sherry is responsible for his own behaviors. That was a conversation that I had with him Probation is asking at this time that Mr. Sherry be sentenced to 5 days in jail, credit for 3 days that he has served for violations to date, that the court extend the prosecutor deferred for a period of 9 months, that he pay an additional $270 probation oversight fees, that he complete the anger habits program, which is a more extensive anger management program. I would ask that he enroll within that program within 30 days, that he continue all other terms that was ordered by this court, that the court schedule a review hearing for August 13th of 2025 at 9 a.m. and that the court provide a warning about any further violations of his probation in this case.
Mr. Owen.
Your Honor, I was actually going to ask if we could approach to discuss all this, if that's possible.
Why?
I just like talking to you, Judge. But Your Honor, I appreciate probation's recommendation. I guess this is a little bit why I wanted to approach the paperwork that I provided. Ms. Polera provides a long history between Mr. Sherry and the individual who this language was directed towards. They have a child in common. This was a custody exchange. I know the court heard the audio.
Oh, I did.
I do not make any excuses for the audio. However, to my belief, there were things said prior to when the recording started that, to be frank, pushed Mr. Sherry's buttons in regards to his ability to parent his child and threats to essentially abscond with his child, which do not forgive his language, Your Honor, but I'm just trying to provide some picture as to the whole story here. And so there is a long and frustrating history there that I think unfortunately puts Mr. Sherry to this point where he used that language. In terms of the jail recommendation, Your Honor, Mr. Sherry's been in custody for 3 days. He is a sole provider to his family. He has a 14-month-old child at home. And frankly, Your Honor, I think the community would be better served if instead of 2 additional days in custody, Mr. Sherry were to be ordered to do community service or something of the like, as opposed to more time in custody. I think through these 3 days that he served, he has realized, which he knew before, but has much more realized the severity of his language, his actions, and the effect that that can have on himself, his family, and those around.
Sir, anything you want to say?
All right. 2 things. Miss Polera, the probation officer. Yeah, she's awesome. I like Miss Polera. She's a sweetheart too. I'm glad I got a chance to meet her when I was there in person. This attorney, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's good. He advocates well for the client. Now, again, very rarely when a defendant allocutes for themselves, do they help their cause. Sometimes it stays the same. Sometimes it gets worse. Very rarely does it help. Just listen to what he says. And yeah, I wish we could hear those tapes too. I really do. But yeah, we didn't get to hear him.
Yes, Your Honor. Teresa, I apologize to you. I'm glad I got to call and at least kind of explain. I know that doesn't justify anything, and the situation isn't black and white. That doesn't justify any of the words that I use or the things that I said. 100%. I messed up. I can take full responsibility for that. That was a terrible thing. I've made it 41 years of my life without having any mistakes like this, but I've got an 11-year-old with a ex that has constantly been threatening me for years. And I've done a really good job of just brushing it off and not saying anything back. And I had a mental moment and I lost it. And again, does not justify anything that I said. It was terrible, terrible. And I'm in therapy trying to work on myself and get better for my family and for these situations. I mean, I still have to parent, that my work still goes forward as far as being a parent. With that said, I do, I've got a 14-month-old at home, and my wife is, already disappointed at me. I'm losing time with my kids. I'm not I'm not this. I'm not a bad person. I know that I've got work to do, and I've been in therapy for the last 6 months getting help, and I'm trying to get to the root of some of the issues. I'm not an angry person, but I've got some anger built up. I've got my dad taught me lessons in different ways. He died when I was young, but he was an alcoholic. He used to put cigarettes out on me when he was trying to teach me lessons. I still have at least 6 burn marks on my body, but those are things that I've been bottling down and pushing aside and for years, until I've been talking to this therapist and she's just saying, like, you got to get things out, but it's been difficult for me. So I'm not an angry person. I hit my boiling point, and that's not okay. But my goal is really to get better so that never happens again. And again, I've made it 41 years without doing anything like that. And I would also ask if I could go home to my family. I'll do community service for as long as you want. I'll do probation as long as you want. I guarantee you, and I'm sure you hear this a lot from people, but I will never be back here, and I'll never make that mistake again. I don't have priors. I'm not a flight risk. I turned myself in. I'm trying to do the right things. I know I messed up. I'm an idiot. I can own up to that. The last 3 days here has been the hardest 3 days of my life. I'll take 6 more cigarette burns on my body than stay in that holding cell. Like, I'm not lying when I say, like, I've learned my lesson. I mean, I knew the day that I walked away from that and where I lost my cool, I knew that I messed up then. And I've had anxiety, and I'm an overthinker. I try to reevaluate the situations I do and how to fix it. And I'm not BSing you. I've started 2 companies since, having a father that passed away and no role models. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I made them the hard way. And again, I'm really working. Like, I'm not messing with you. I'm not lying. There's a reason you haven't seen me in here. I don't break the law. I don't have any DUIs or drug things. I messed up. I know I messed up, but the only way I can get better is by continuing to do the work. I mean, I've got therapy tomorrow if I can get there, but I understand where Teresa's coming to. I know she has a job to do and recommendations, and you as well. I'm guessing you have a really good way to, like, judge people by their character. And I'm begging you to let me go home to my family and get the work done, and you will never see me here again in this light.
All right. I just wanted you guys to pay attention. I mean, I guess it's too late for me to say this. The way that Judge Simpson was listening to him and listening to the guy in the last clip, completely different. You could just see it on Judge Simpson's face. The last guy, he's just like, "What? Why are you talking?" And this guy, and this one, he's like, "All right, man, I believe you."
Tell you what, you're kind of a little bit of an enigma, because the person I'm hearing now And the person I saw in that video and the person I saw before, it's all just different. That was not a good person on that video.
No,
Just not at all.
wow.
So I will just tell you this. Maybe one of the things that can help you in terms of trying to deal with that is take a breath. And whenever you're responding, it doesn't matter to whom, but whenever you're responding, respond in a way as though you believe that your kids are watching.
And I'm failing them. I'm honestly like, even I've got my daughter has special needs, and that's what it's so emotional.
And that's where you've got to be strong and not have that emotion.
You're right.
I know I'm right.
You are. I'm not denying it. It's my fault.
I'll extend the defendant's prosecutor deferred status for a period of 9 months. You're to pay an additional $270 probation oversight fees. When can you get that done?
As soon as you let me out. I'll pay it right now if you'll seriously just let me.
Sir, stop talking.
Sorry.
Pay it by November 22nd, 2024. You're to complete the anger habits program. You're to enroll in that program within 30 days. I will continue all other previous terms as ordered. I'll set a review hearing August 13th, 2025, 9 a.m. I'm not going to accept any other further violations. That was a horrible, disgusting thing I had to watch, and the things that you said and the things that you just spewed from your mouth. If I see anything remotely approaching that, you might as well just resign yourself to the fact that I'm just going to throw you in. I'm not even going to be dealing with you.
Yes, sir. It'll never
So I will also say that I'm not letting you out because you begged. I'm letting you out because of what Mr. Ellman said to me. Because quite frankly, when you were getting here, I was surprised by the recommendation because I would give you more time. So you better thank those people for you getting to go home. But I'll go with what Mr. Ellman says. I'm not going to order any other additional community service. I'd rather him work with his kids and his family and get that right. 3 days Washington County Jail credit, 3 days, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
You too.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe Judge Simpson right there. I think that speech should move him. I do. I think we all felt the speech. Yeah, but maybe it didn't. Maybe he already decided before he was speaking that he was gonna, the 3 days was enough. Who knows? All right, I think we have one more Judge Simpson case. We do, and it's a little bit of a longer one. This one's interesting. It's a little weird. Yeah, all right, let's just go. You guys are awesome. Oh, actually, before I get into this, I've got. No, you know what? I'll tease that at the end of this.
Judge, good morning to you and your staff. Lillian Diallo, 52036, on behalf of Justin Walters, who is physically present to my right.
Why is she saying hello to everybody else?
Because I'm just that way.
Are you?
I'm sorry, Judge.
You gotta say, okay.
I said you first.
Okay, you're right. You're good. All right, go ahead.
All right, fine. I'll just let you guys know. I've got a potential sob sit that I want to tease you guys tonight. It's going to be my video that I release tomorrow morning. We'll see how the rest of the night goes, though, because it is already getting close to 9, and we still have about 20-25 minutes left of this video. So if it's not too late, I'll tease it, and I'll show you guys. And the reason I say it's a potential sob sit is because she doesn't use the script, but some of her arguments are very sob sit-ish, and the attorney on the other side calls her out on it. So it's an interesting clip. So like I said, if we can get through this clip and it's not too late, then yeah, I'll play it tonight. That's what I was going to tease, but I was going to wait for like 20 minutes before I said that. But nope, Courtney just had to get it out of me.
So Judge, we are here for sentencing this morning. I'm in receipt of the pre-sentence report. I don't believe there are any factual corrections, additions, or deletions. Is that correct, Mr. Walters?
That is correct.
I would like to address some of the recommendations at the appropriate time.
You may go ahead.
So Judge, they indicate that it's the 18th month prosecutor deferred sentence. I do believe that this would qualify potentially, maybe, or not, for the early discharge if everything is taken care of. But we want to really talk about number 4, no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, illegal substances. I have no problem with that. But the issue is I don't believe that alcohol or drugs were part of this. And we would just note that it is a constant strain on Mr. Walters' finances, as he has to come up here and pay.
Yes, ma'am.
He has to come to Washington and pay, and he lives in Macomb County. So if we could maybe, do
He something.
told
me he likes Washington better.
Well, my daughter goes to school here.
Okay, see?
Good job.
All right.
But in any event, Judge,
Well, just counsel, if I can just shortcut that. He's on testing right now, correct?
correct.
This is a change because he'll only have to test as requested by probation. So
Understand.
I told you.
that's correct, Ms. Blair.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, so unless you want me to keep him on testing. No, okay, all right.
And with that, Judge, I don't think there are any further additions, corrections, or deletions. Mr. Walters is always presented with his family. He's remorseful about the situation. We've had some sessions where we talk about triggers and things that we don't do and things that we do. So he has no prior criminal record. So we would ask that this court adopt the agreement in this matter.
Claire, on behalf of probation, the victim in this case, Constance Clark, is present. She would like to address the court.
All right. You guys have a seat over here.
Oh, okay, sure. You're for my person, not
All right. We've got a lot of talkers today. All three Judge Simpson clips. I've showed you two defendants talking. Now we've got a
Good
victim.
morning.
And this, yeah, she speaks really well. You can tell that she wrote this with passion. Okay, I'm not going to say anything else.
Good morning,
What's your name?
Constance Clark.
All right. What would you like to tell me? Hang on one moment. Go ahead.
I grew up in a place called Southfield Lathrop Village, which is a suburb of the suburbs. We had an in-ground pool in our backyard, about 10 feet deep. And as a toddler, I was told my twin brother leaped into the water. And at 2, I jumped in after him to save him. Of course, I didn't know how to swim yet, so we both sank. This story has a happy ending. I'm alive. But the plot twist is I learned I would go through the extremes for the people I love. My twin, whose eyes glow neon yellow because he has sickle cells. And as a child for years, he was in and out of hospitals. We were told he wouldn't make it. And all I could remember is how sad he would get when visiting hours were over and how bad I felt for being the healthy one. It was so many days I wish I could take his pain just to give him a break. I would endure it. My mother raised us on unity and to look out for each other always. I usually don't talk about myself, so these are stories that people don't get to know about me. I met Justin around the time that my older sister died. I never told you that. I didn't realize how vulnerable I was, but I really wasn't looking for friendship. In fact, I used to spin him. I wasn't interested in anything, but then the love bombing started. And the things Justin did to secure our friendship was legendary. Do you know you were the first person to take me to Campus Marshes, the Q Line, MoCat, the Gospel Cafe, Riverwalk. You were super pressed to be around me. And eventually we formed a genuine friendship through hours, days, months, years. He called me, he checked on me every day. The first years was solid. Weird stuff started happening. People talked about him and the whispers turned to some mumbles and then screams. The vicious rumors were definite. I had been blindly defending Justin because if he said he didn't do it, right? Why would he lie? In the 3-ish years, I discovered that Justin is a synonym for habitual and pathological liar. We had a blowout, a typical friend spat. I stopped talking to him. I couldn't believe he had me losing friends and defending him at Asia's expense.
He dogged her out and was cruel to her because he didn't want the world to know he loved and was involved with the overweight, smelly girl from a different religion. This was the first time I seen a chip in the PK for years because of our relationship telling me to go to the dorms to check on him. I never forget the one desk lamp, the cheap blue rug, or the hand-painted truck. When I went to Justin's room, the space was somber, the air was stale. He began to cry. I kept asking him, Justin, what's wrong? What's wrong, Justin? What's wrong? He sobbed into my neck. And suddenly I wasn't angry, disappointed, or hurt. I was confused, concerned, and afraid. I kept saying whatever was wrong, we could get through it. And everything was fine. He took a step back from me, rolled up his black hoodie sleeves, and blood was running down his arms. Horizontal lines like waves, he jumped in. And even though I never swam like this before, I was going in after him. I never knew anybody who self-harmed. It broke me in a unique way. I didn't know he was sharing trauma with me to justify future abusive behavior. He had my heart. He started testing boundaries. It started with the thump, a gesture that you would do to test the ripeness of a watermelon. This was Justin with the haircut, not the one with the braids, the twists, the plaits, the curls that I did for free. Haircut Justin that emerged after months of horrendous torture that his Superman refused to save him from. It was times that monkey business got so barbaric that I would drive him in his car in circles around Ipsy just so he felt safe enough to sleep. I watched him harder. I loved him more. When you're the last man, you often feel beta. Every day I poured into him, hoping that he would love himself more than his inferiority. A thump to the forehead because he told me I had a smart ass mouth. And my reply is, I never heard that as a kid. That was his experience, not mine. Thump must be the sound of his head hitting the ground when Nyla called me frantically to come get him out of her room. When she said you had hit your head on the ground, I blamed her for letting it happen. Thump. When you got ran over by a car on Easter morning, I blame myself for not standing firmly and hiding your keys. Thump. The sound you made when you fell down the stairs and left a hole in the stairwells. Thump. I never been sexual with Justin, but I pressed my lips to yours, breathed air into your lungs. How many times did I save your life? And how many times did you try to take mine? I was the best friend that waited in emergency rooms with you. I was the best friend that characters you assassinated to continue your lies. I was the muse. I can't believe you stole my work and still perform it like it's your own. When you blame me for your drinking problems, I told you start drinking at 13. You would sneak into your parents' liquor cabinet. I didn't know you at 13. For that, I got my face slashed. When you blame me for your sadness, I told you tried to hang yourself in high school. I didn't know you. And then I got my hair ripped out by the follicles. When I found out you were trying to do a girl homework that you liked, I told you that you were better than that. And I was rewarded with a busted lip. The shift between love bombing and devaluation, all I wanted from Justin was good, wholesome friendship. It was through hanging out with him that I got to experience some epic outings, vacations, Lantern Fest, escape rooms, museums, fairs, carnival. But boy, did they cost me. After he stonewalled me and we were playing chicken on the highway, I had enough. We met at Savannah Blues and came up with the terms of our not talking. He said that he would buy me out of our plane tickets and lodging, cover my medical bills, and I could get my stuff. I agreed to never talk to him or about him. After he cussed me out and belittled me for hours, I grabbed my purse and left the restaurant. Before I could even get to the freeway, he called me and apologized. He said he was going to work on himself and not to give up on him, that God was working on him. And the scary part is he got this God thing down packed. But if you believe and I believe, we both go to God, you repent, I forgive. Why are we here? One of us don't believe. We were supposed to be family, and I needed that. And I see how I got myself into this situation, because when you love someone, it's hard to stop loving them, even when they are the most beautiful, gifted angel. Y'all can hear everything he did to me, and y'all still love him, but I'm supposed to be made out of rock. I'm not the narcissist that can't fail. You can't keep a girlfriend because you don't like women. The white girls in high school didn't mess with you. Your prom date stood you up, and you hated me for loving you. You made a monster of my worries. I left you all those Bible verses tucked in your car, job, and room because on the days I couldn't get to you, I wanted God to. I wanted the best for you. So I learned about Gilbert syndrome, IBS, Narcan, narcissism, imposter syndrome, stocks, podcast, Zelda, and David Goggins to grow with you. You learned me to hurt me. My mother died. and you request for an ankle bracelet to be off, but not the no contact. You have nothing to say to me because you never liked me. My mother died, and everyone was looking for my best friend who's been by my side for almost a decade, and I couldn't even speak on what was going on because I didn't want you harmed. I robbed myself of my family supporting me during one of my darkest times because I don't want you harmed. Justin, when you spat on me at my aunt's funeral, I got back in the car with you because if I got picked up from the side of the road with my lip busted and my clothes torn, you would have been harmed. I've done a lot to save you in multiple ways. What did you do for me? You sent people to my home. You dug a grave for me and you fell in, and I still showed you mercy. On the day that was asked about felonies and expungement, I still didn't want ill for you because that's what you're supposed to do. You wanted ill for me. You wanted to see me in jail. This is what the therapy is for, because I can't seem to be a hateful person, no matter how bad you was to me, and you wasn't a good friend for me. Maybe you're a good friend to the Planet Fitness predator, or the friend that borrows money without intent to pay, or the friend who you're a token black to. You wanted me to build you up to get you where you need to be, but you never made the same sacrifices for me. I'm not angry, aggressive Black woman. I am hurt that the friend that I loved never loved me. It's like the yoke was not equal. I was a placeholder and I didn't even know it. I was his stepping stool, his punching bag, and I didn't even recognize the sign. I didn't even think right. I forgave, supported, was kind and patient, and yet I still have nothing to show for it. My feelings are valid. Your nickname is Scrap, because I think everybody in your family knew you liked to fight. You slammed Go, ripped T's dreads out, and smashed Asia's fingers. I'm not the first, and I won't be the last. If you needed to hurt me to feel whole, I can only imagine how empty you are on the inside. When you were stumping me out the day you hurt your ankle, I was laid in a fetal position, covering my face and head, thinking, at least he's not cutting himself. I could take the pain if it gives him a break. Not only did I have to protect you, but I got to protect myself. And some days I couldn't do both, so I picked you. Pablo died because he had asthma and he was a smoker. His family asked about you. I didn't tell them that you wasn't coming, not because you wasn't aware, but because you don't care about people when nobody is around to witness your kindness. Our friend died and you were still in contact with Dejanay. We could have correlated the time and event so you could at least went and paid your respect. But once again, you only do stuff for show. Justin, you're a narcissist. And from what you have done, I have nightmares. And sometimes you're dead because I couldn't get to you in time. And sometimes I'm dead because I didn't leave in enough time. The conflict of not knowing what I did to deserve this keeps me up at night. It wasn't the money, the purses, the jewelry, the outings you paid for. I just wanted you to be a good person to me. And you couldn't do that. You're telling people that we fell out about a car. Like I didn't drive both of your cars. Like I don't have the title to both of your cars. Like you're telling people we fell out in a car, and Justin, we have matching cars. You don't tell people that the reason why the TV is gone out the living room is because you tried to knock me into it and it fell off the wall. You don't tell people the reason why there's holes punched in your house. You don't tell the truth at all. You don't tell people that day that you were asleep in your room, you were high on cocaine that you got from your brother. Like you don't tell the truth. And I'm sorry, because I just seen that part where it says drinking, he's an alcoholic. And then you wanted to blame the drinking on me. When I've been sober this whole time. That's why I can drive your friends' cars, your brother's cars, everybody's cars, because I'm always the sober one. You sit here in your blue suit, and you don't have any remorse. I know this man for over 8 years. He doesn't have any remorse. He doesn't care. He just cared because he got caught. And now he can do the fake sad stuff. He can do the I was ashamed stuff. He can do the stuff that he did to his friend before me and that friend before him. He's not sorry. But once again, because I'm not a monster, when they asked me about the felony stuff, I didn't want that for you. But you wanted this for me. You wanted to see me in jail. You wanted to see me hurt. But I'm like, in closing, Justin, strap on your blue suit. Because not only did it not start in Washtenaw, it started in Sterling Heights. What did you do to me in Sterling Heights? What did you do to me in Bloomfield Hills? What did you do to me in Southfield? What did you do to me in these other cities? Remember that day that you were driving, I was driving your car back from Ohio and you socked me and we almost swerved and flipped the car? Remember how your Chevy Trax mirror got broke? You just lie about everything. But that's all I have to say, because there's nothing left to be said. He's not sorry. I'm just sorry that I cared enough about him to spare him.
All right, I saw all the questions going through the chat with some. Yeah, I wanted to pause it and answer, but I didn't want to pause it while she was talking. I wanted to give her that respect. She needed that moment for her, and I wasn't going to pause it, even though she's never going to see this. But it makes me feel good that I was not going to interrupt her. She is not the sister. She is the BFF. Kind of. I don't know if there. She kind of said there may have been a little bit more, but they never got sexual. I don't know. But she was used. She was used for almost a decade, and I don't know if this is a DUI charge, a domestic violence charge. I don't know. But this is the sentencing, and that was a victim impact statement. So that is what happened. But yeah, it could be either one. It could be either alcohol or a DV. Sounds like this guy has a lot of issues. But yeah, hopefully that cleared it up a little bit. I think towards the end, you guys kind of figured it out, though. I saw people starting to respond as if they were figuring it out. Okay, let's finish this one up.
Your Honor, I also.
Thank you.
Your Honor, it's also my understanding that she is wanting to request restitution, but she did not bring documentation. Is it possible that the court set a restitution hearing out?
What is the restitution for?
It is for the damaged door and glasses for the dinosaur.
We would request a hearing.
Hold on. For the damaged door?
Damaged door, for glasses, and damage to a tooth.
Is that contained in any of the reports?
I do know, Your Honor, that the damaged door is listed in the report. I did not read anything about glasses or the tooth.
Well, when did
this incident?
Pardon?
For this incident. That's for this incident. In the report, there's alleged prior assaults from other areas.
If I may.
But hold on a second. Well, I guess my question is, today's the date and time for sentencing. Why don't I have that? I mean, when did the claim for restitution come up? I guess.
All right, Your Honor, this is Christine from the Washington County Prosecutor's
Yes, ma'am.
Office. Excuse me. I spoke with Constance. Sorry, I'm just looking at my case tracking notes here. Constance and I spoke about restitution back in September, and broken glasses or the data work and the damaged property. It's my understanding, we asked for the receipts. It's my understanding that those weren't obtained at this time. I did speak with Constance this morning, and she said that she would be able to get both all of those estimates to me. It was a matter of contacting, I think it was, I'm not familiar with glasses companies like Best.
Yeah, I actually disagree. I think the previous version of herself sounded broken, that she was enduring that and she was accepting that as her reality. I think today she sounds strong. I think this, yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
America Best glasses.
It's right up the street. I mean, if we got to get I guess.
I'm happy to try to obtain those receipts and send them to defense. And if they object, then we can have a hearing if you prefer.
Well, the problem is I'm setting a hearing and I don't have anything to object to. I mean, I assuming, and I may be wrong, that counsel's objecting to this, but there's nothing to object to. I mean, I guess I'm not blaming. I'm just saying I don't even have. I have nothing upon which there is a claim for restitution that was made prior to today, I know how the prosecutor's office, well, I won't say I know how they work, but I mean, I know with the victim's advocates, you ask about that. You guys are great about getting that to Miss Polera. Miss Polera herself, where appropriate, asked. And I have nothing. And now I'm here today and I'm hearing that there's a request for restitution. So when are we going to get these receipts?
We hold restitution reserved for 30 days, 2 weeks, 14 days.
All right.
For a judge.
Yeah, no, I know that's typically how it works, but is there going to be like a dentist bill? Is that
My
what?
understanding is there's an estimate for the orthodontic where the glasses have been fixed and replaced, so that will be an actual receipt. The orthodontic bill is an estimate, and I believe the door has also been handled. There's a receipt for that as well.
This is her door?
And the door, there's pictures of the broken door and damages to the door while contained within the police report.
So, okay. I guess I'm a bit concerned only because I'm trying to figure out why I don't have any of the ones that are available now. I mean, I don't want this dragging out. All right. So that's the one thing. The other thing is there's an estimate for orthodontic work that hasn't been done.
Correct. I believe some, dental usually not covered by insurance, especially if the orthodontic work is not covered by insurance. So I don't know that they're able to pay up front for that.
Yeah, I appreciate your patience. What did you want to say?
I don't know. I don't. So Judge, there was a lot to unpack. We would just ask this court to adopt the sentence agreement, understanding that Mr. Walters would contest a lot, but it's okay. We are here accepting responsibility for what he feels he is responsible for. And I will note that in all of those places, the police reports that I have seen were standbys for Mr. Walters against the complaining witness. We're not trying to proceed with any of those things. I want Mr. Walters to put a period and move on. When the court said no contact, that wasn't Mr. Walters. It was the court.
Part of me imposing sentence or setting a restitution here, I want to meet with counsel, probation, and the victim's advocate in chambers. Let me get through a couple of things and then I will do that.
Thank you, Judge. After
So
we
I'll
got
pass.
out at
Pardon?
11, I have a preliminary exam at 11. I'm one of those guys. 36th district.
They'll wait.
No.
All right.
Judge.
Let me just get through a
Okay.
couple more things.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and have a seat.
Let me try to get Miss Diallo out of here. She's yelling at me. Court does recall the case of People versus Justin Walters. Okay. And the record should reflect we had a bench or a conference with defense counsel, the victim's advocate, and probation, primarily revolving around the restitution issue, but I think I've figured something out. Anything else either would like to say before I do impose sentence?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Young man, anything you want to say?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
On count for the assault and battery, I place you on probation for a period of 18 months under the prosecutor's deferred sentence. $555 fines and court costs, $540 probation oversight fees. When can you get that paid, young man?
The beginning of next year, the end of this year. At the end of this year?
Diallo just told him, say what the other said.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, okay.
You took me for a loop with that one, Judge. I'm like, what did you say? No. So can you do all of it? When? You can, the end of this year, is
Yeah,
that,
the end of this year.
whatever time you can pay it, make sure you get that time and you pay it time here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
December 31st, 2024. Somebody says Happy New Year. I'm coming to find you. I'll find the owl first. There should be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to complete an anger management program as directed by probation. There is to be no contact, directly or indirectly, with Constance Clark. Do not assault, terrorize, frighten, intimidate, threaten, harass, molest, or stalk anyone. Do not possess any weapons, firearms, ammunition, or anything fashioned to be a weapon. You are to report to probation as requested. That may include home visits. I will discontinue the GPS tether. I'll set a review hearing that's to be held May 13th, 2025 at 9 a.m. I will order 93 days in jail, credit for 3 days. The balance is suspended. On the malicious destruction of property claim, 18 months prosecutor deferred sentence, $555 fines and court costs. Will make that due at the same time. December 31st, 2024. You're to comply with all terms as I just laid out and enunciated in count 4, the assault and battery. Order 93 days in jail, credit 3 days served. The balance is suspended. I will additionally set a restitution hearing in this matter for, said the 11th. Is that yeah. I'll set a restitution hearing at this point for December 11th, 2024 at 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. That will be in
Yes.
person.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Judge, you and your staff have a good holiday.
You do the same. Always a pleasure.
All right. I think I've used up all my words on that case. I don't really want to keep talking about it. Yeah. Okay. We're going into the last clip of the night. This is Judge Washington. This is a quick one. What do you guys think? You guys want to watch the not a sovereign citizen? Again, it's not a sovereign citizen. She doesn't use the script. She just comes very close. She did a lot of internet research and used a few lines. It's a civil case. It's a small claims matter. Just you guys are going to hear it. In the defense that she uses, you will hear how close she comes to becoming a sovereign citizen. And again, the attorney does call her out on it, but we do have a quick Judge Washington clip first. So we're going to watch that. If I get enough, let's play. Let's watch it. I'll play it. And I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't get a GPS tether at least. I don't know. No idea. Okay. Let's finish up the video I made, and then let's see how much time we got left. Let's go.
Ypsilanti Township versus Bridget Brodrick, case number 24W002271.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Doughty Lieb on behalf of Ms. Brodrick. Ms. Brodrick, could you state your name, sir, ma'am?
My name is Bridget Grace Brodrick.
Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Brodrick. All right. We're here for a pretrial today?
That is correct, Your Honor. We'll be requesting an adjournment as we have not yet received discovery.
No objection to that. This is a false info to police officer. Is that correct, Your Honor?
Yes, that is correct.
So, counsel, if she wants to resolve it today with an impeding traffic civil infraction, I would do that. Otherwise, I'm happy to adjourn to get the report.
Ms. Brodrick, would you like to do that? That's a civil infraction. There will be a fine, but no criminal record or any other kind of criminal penalties.
Does that mean I just pay?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, please.
I'm sorry. It's the way you said it. Like, yes, that sounds like a good idea. Yes. All right. Thank you. All right. Ms. Brodrick, it's my understanding you're going to be accepting responsibility for an added count 2. You said impeding traffic?
Yes, correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Added count 2 of impeding traffic.
Wait, what does that mean? Like,
I think you should talk to your client a little bit, Mr. Lebo, in a breakout room. Okay,
I agree, Your Honor.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I told you that was a quick one. It was kind of funny. I just liked her response. And then when Judge Washington laughs, it's always priceless. But yeah, just pay. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm taking that deal. So it was good. All right, let's play this sovereign citizen. This is not a sovereign citizen video. It's not a sovereign citizen. It says Judge Simmons. Hold on, I gotta get it loaded. Where are you at? Oh, right here. All right, we don't need to hear my intro. Judge Simmons again. Again, this isn't a sovereign citizen. She just comes really close. So we're gonna play this. Yeah, here we go. Oh, and you guys know the rules. When I sneak peek a video on my live that's meant for the next day, you guys don't have to rewatch it tomorrow, but I would appreciate it if you at least click on it and hit the like button when you see it. You don't have to rewatch it. It's about 15 minutes long, so you don't have to waste 15 minutes if you've already used it tonight. Just hit the like button. I would appreciate that. Sparkle Poots. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you, Sparkle. I figured I had to end with something funny after the Judge Simpson cases. He had a lot of talkers today. I feel like everyone wanted to talk to him. I mean, I don't blame him. I want to talk to Judge Simpson every time I see him in person. Okay. Yeah, I am. I'm stealing my own videos. I absolutely am. All right, let's go.
24-04774. Council appearance, please.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Smith, P63010, appearing on behalf of Midland.
Okay, and then I see the defendant and counter plaintiff. Please state your name for the record.
Rachel Langoni.
Your volume is a little low.
Okay. Is that any better?
That's better. Okay, so today was the date that was scheduled for a motion for summary disposition that was filed by Midland. Let's see.
No, Midland's actually, well, the Midland company owns a lot of different things. I don't know if it's the same Midland company. They might have branches. They might have a property management branch, but generally the Midland that we see in court is a financial. They're almost like a bank. They're a debt collector, essentially. They buy debts and then collect on them.
And let's see. They're asking for the court to strike, excuse me, the defendant's answer and dismiss the counterclaim. Say that the counterclaim doesn't seek relief that the court could grant. I'll let you make your motion on the record, Ms. Smith.
Thank you, Your Honor. To address the counterclaim first, I'm sure the court has had opportunity to review the counterclaim. It's a two-line counterclaim saying that she is seeking dismissal of the claims against her and asking for an award of $3,744. It does not go into any detail about anything my client would have done wrong. So there's really no basis on which to grant any sort of relief as to the counterclaim. As for our motion for summary disposition, reviewing the defendant's pleadings filed, the crux of the matter is she doesn't believe that she owes anything to Midland because the original creditor was a different entity. So it was a Children's Place credit card held through Comenity Bank. The account was used. We attached about a year and a half worth of billing statements to our motion showing use, purchases and payments on the subject account. In December of 2021, the account was charged off and sold to Midland. Also, as part of our documents is a letter sent by Comenity to Ms. Langoni explaining that the account with Comenity has been charged off. It was purchased by Midland Credit Management. Any further communications and or payments were to be made with Midland Credit Management. Ms. Langoni did in fact contact Midland and set up a payment plan. The payment plan was ultimately defaulted with only 1 or 2 payments having been applied to the account. So there's just really no issue left to resolve. Midland owns the account. The balance due and owing, there's no dispute as to that. There's no dispute that Ms. Langoni had the original card. The only issue is her belief that she doesn't have to pay Midland. And again, based on the proofs provided by Midland, and the fact that there was in fact a payment plan set up with Midland, I'll point to the fact that Midland does in fact own the account, is permitted to collect on same. And so we're asking that Your Honor please dismiss the counterclaim for the reasons previously stated, and then also grant summary disposition on Midland's claim, as there really is no underlying issue for trial.
Okay, Ms. Langone, I don't see a response to the plaintiff counter defendant's motion from you.
No, and I did try to contact legal aid and get some advice. The only thing that she told me that I could do was to ask you to amend my response. As far as what she sent, I still, when we were here the last time and I met with counsel in a separate room, I still maintain that I would like to see the contract, whether that's, I mean, especially between myself and Comenity, to see that they were legally able to sell the debt. Because if I could go to trial, I would show that the chances that the Comenity was paid for the debt. And I want to be able to show that. It's very different, because if I were to go to court with Comenity, that would have to go through a federal court. It's very different than saying that I owed it to Midland.
Let me get some clarity here. You're not disputing that you had a Children's Place account, correct?
Correct.
You're disputing, and you're not disputing that there was a balance of $643.63?
No, I'm not disputing that.
Okay, your dispute is that you have paid that $643.63? It
was paid when I opened the account.
It was paid by who?
The process, and this is why I wanted to go to trial, because there's so much to explain when
Your Honor, if I may, I believe this is, we've seen this going around online. It basically comes down to an argument that credit cards aren't real money, and somehow by opening a credit card, Comenity is really doing some other sort of banking thing, and it's not really money that has to be paid back. You have
to let her give her response, because she's not actually drafted a motion or
Sure.
responsive motion to you. And then I'll let you respond to what she's saying, but she's got to have an opportunity to make her statements as to what she believes her defense is.
Sure.
So you're.
Yeah. Like I said, she's really close. She's really close to being a soft sit. She's researching online. She's using some of the arguments. She doesn't fall full into it. She's like the getaway driver of a bank heist. You know, she's guilty by association, but she didn't actually step foot in the bank. That's where she's at right now. But who knows? If she continues down this path, we might see her.
Saying you didn't pay, you charged $643.63 on the Children's Place card, but you didn't pay for it?
I did pay on it at the time, because I didn't realize what had happened. And when this all started, when I started questioning what was going on, I had called Comenity.
What do you mean what was going on? I don't know what that means.
When I was trying to understand the legalities of a contract and how the banking system works, I was just studying this on my own. And so I had called Comenity a couple times, spoke to 2 different people, and all I did was I wanted the original contract so that I could learn the legal terms, how it works, the process. And when they kept telling me that they didn't have this contract, that's when I started asking more questions. and learning that how important contract law is, and the fact that it's somehow magically disappeared. I don't understand why the most important legally binding contract would have just magically disappeared. So I started asking a lot of questions, and what I'm basing it off of is off of federal regulations, federal codes, the UCC 3. It's not what the attorney just made it out to be, but it is a lot to explain, and I'm still learning. But I do want to maintain my right to defend myself against.
That your right to defend yourself starts with the summary disposition. You don't just get to skip over that portion. If there is a motion for summary disposition, they're saying that you don't have a valid defense, that you have not presented an issue of genuine dispute. You need to now plead to me something that makes me believe that there is an issue of genuine fact that needs to be resolved by either a jury or a trier of fact. And you've not yet provided me that. That's why it was important for you to respond in writing to their motion. I'm giving you an opportunity now to respond verbally, but I need to hear some information that would allow me to understand your mindset and why you believe that you can open a credit card and then charge a balance and then not have to pay the balance.
Right, and that's
so. Answer that.
It is very difficult to explain, but I 100% would not have disputed this with Midland if that was the case, that I just wanted to borrow money and not pay it back. That's honestly, that's not what it's about.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm trying to follow. So your dispute is that the past due debt was charged off. I'm not following what the dispute is.
I feel like I need to, I obviously I didn't go to law school, so understanding this process is not easy for me. And if I lose the case, it's going to be because of a procedural issue and my own fault, not because I'm wrong though. I've learned way too much about the bank's process at this point. But I just have to maintain that there's no contract.
I would disagree with that because what you've said so far was that you opened a credit card, that you used that credit card to purchase some things, and then you didn't pay the credit card. And I'm trying to understand, but you said that the credit card, it was paid, and I'm trying to figure out how was it paid if you didn't pay it?
It's the banking process when I provide my social security number and did not fully understand what I was signing and what I was signing over.
Okay. All right. Now, well, I have to pause it every few minutes with them, so you get a pause out of it. First off, thank you so much for the super chat. And second off, yeah, I wanted to be taking it like right now. However, Debbie, again, my coach, my tutor, my teacher, she just got back from Japan a little bit over a week ago, and we've talked a few times, but we haven't really talked. I don't know if that makes sense. And I'm waiting for her blessing to start signing up because she's the one helping me. So now I feel like I'm just waiting on her. But I'm hoping maybe January now. I know it keeps getting pushed back. I'm not in a huge hurry to take it, and I've been preparing, and I think I'm about ready for it. Like I said, I just want her blessing before I actually go forward with it. You know, maybe we'll have like a little study session, and she'll quiz me and let me know if I'm ready for it. I don't know. This is her world. I'm just trying to enter it. But that's where I am right now. I'm still doing it. It's gonna happen. I just feel like now we're just kicking the can down the road, and I don't want to say I'm getting frustrated, but yeah, that's where we are right now. But Wixom, thank you so much for keeping me on my toes and keeping me honest about it. I feel like you ask me about once a week, and every week I just feel like I'm disappointing you more and more. But it is gonna happen. I promise it will happen. Okay, there you go.
Because you signed a contract for a credit card and you didn't fully understand, you think that that's a defense?
Well, see, that's the tricky thing is my defense would be different with Comenity versus Midland. So anytime
we're not talking about that. We're not talking about what hypothetically, your defense would be with community. This is Midland Credit Management versus Rachel Lamco.
So I'm maintaining that they don't have, there's no contract to base any of the allegations in the papers that Midland has submitted. It's
Okay,
it's
so-
all based off of if there was a contract, and there is no contract.
There's no contract, you mean, between you and Midland Credit Union? Is that what you're saying?
Or
credit
myself
management?
or myself in Comenity, nobody has that contract.
No, I didn't ask you
either.
what, if anyone had the contract or anyone's produced it. I've already stated on the record that you signed a agreement with community.
Right, but usually there's clauses in that agreement if they can legally sell my debt to a third party. So I would like to see that they could legally sell my debt to the third party.
Okay, so your defense was that you wanted to see evidence that they could legally sell the debt to Midland.
Yes.
Okay. Any other defenses?
No. Thank you.
Okay, and then you filed a counter suit.
Yeah, that was for my time doing
For
it.
your time?
Yeah,
What do you mean for your time?
for responding and getting this suit that I don't agree with, and I figured if the attorney could get paid for their time, then I could get paid for mine.
Hey, she's got a suit she doesn't agree with. Would that be the Zoot suit from the last case? See what I did there? Yeah, throwback for the win. I know, I'm lame.
Do you believe that you should get paid $3,744 for your time?
Yeah.
Oh. Your counterclaim is dismissed. It's not properly pled. You've not provided any basis upon which the court can grant you $3,744 for responding to a lawsuit, which I'm going to cut to the chase. It's very clear to me that you have opened up a credit card and you failed to pay the debt. Now, whether or not community had the right to sell or transfer your debt to another entity, which is common in when you open up a credit card, that's unknown. Did you provide that information for her, Ms. Smith? We can't hear you. You might be muted.
Sorry, I did mute myself because I had to cough. I don't believe so, other than the letter sent by Comenity to her indicating that the account had been sold and Midland now owns it and was able to exercise full rights to collect on it. That was sent to her back in December, excuse me, of 2021. And that was included as part of the documents attached to our motion. And then again, I would also emphasize that there was a payment plan made with Midland as well, so.
She made a payment plan with Midland?
Yes, there were two $15 payments made to the account.
When?
This was, give me a moment, Your Honor, it's in the motion. They were made, there was one payment for $15 made August 28th of 2022. That payment was actually returned on August 31st of 2022. And then there was another $15 payment was made.
Yeah, you're not lying. When I bought a house, I don't even think it was 3 months after I secured the loan and moved into the house that my mortgage was sold to another company. Yeah, I wasn't gonna show up to court with this argument on a mortgage. Yeah, good luck.
October 27th of 22.
Why was the August 22 payment returned?
My system says declined. I'm not sure if, I mean, that could be like if a credit or debit card was used and then it ended up being, you know, like an invalid account number, or like the account got closed, or it could be an NSF.
Okay, but the October 27, 2022 payment was accepted?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Langoni, you've actually waived any defense or argument that you had that you didn't have a debt or a duty to pay the debt. You tried to make payments. on the debt with Midland, not with.
Before I knew my rates.
Oh, that you've waived that argument. Even if they were to provide you a physical copy of the agreement, which I don't know how you applied for this credit card. I don't know if you applied in a store. I don't know if you applied online. You're not disputing that you applied. You're just disputing that there may possibly have been a clause in there that would be a defense for you. But you have not been able to produce any of that on your own. You've produced nothing to the court. To the contrary, you produced information through your answer and even in your responses today that tend to lead to the fact that you owe this money. You have no plausible defense to the debt. I'm finding judgment in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $643.63.
All right. That was it. Yep, that happened. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. There's only about 10 seconds left of this case. I got 2 more super chats I want to say thank you to. Brown Eyed Girl, good luck, Colin. Better be prepared and ready. I have been getting ready for the last couple months. I feel good about it. I think I'm gonna do well. I don't think I'm gonna blow it out of the water, but I'm gonna do above average. You know, I'm not gonna be hitting 180 on this test. Not even close. Yeah. I'm going to do it. We're going to have fun. I'm going to document it all too. As much as I can, at least. Cheshire Cat. Bless your heart. Yes. Yes, Miss Wannabe Subset. Bless your heart. Courtesy of Sparkle Boots. All right. I need to rate somebody. Now that I ran way over time, I don't know if there's any. I mean, I know Lone Wolf's going to be on. Let's see. What do we got? He might be the only one on. Oh, a lot of people are on. You know what? Let's go to KDZ tonight. We did Lone Wolf last night. Did we do Lone Wolf last night? I think we did. Anyways, let's go to KDZ. KDZ needs, she's trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So jump over to KDZ, tell her I said hi, and drop her a subscribe. Let's get her to 5,000 by the end of the year. I think she's close. She's only a couple hundred away. So Wixom, you want Lone Wolf? I raid Lone Wolf like 3 or 4 times a week. So I've even told him this. He's like, I'm gonna give you 3 or 4 solid raids a week, but when there's other people on, you know, I'm gonna share the love as much as possible. Lone Wolf is on, so if you guys want to jump to Lone Wolf, go jump to Lone Wolf. But I'm gonna raid KDZ tonight. Anyways, thank you guys so much. You guys were extremely generous tonight. Thank you. The super chats, the PayPals, the gifted memberships, membership milestones, new members. You guys are all awesome. I do really appreciate it. Biggin, once again, thank you for the raid. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out after Biggin. It's been a long night, so we're going to call it a night. Go tell Katie's that I said hi. And, yeah, don't forget to jump up onto this video tomorrow to at least hit the like. I would surely appreciate it. You guys have a great night. I will see you guys tomorrow. Until next time, bye. What is her link? Can someone drop Katie Zed's link real quick? It's going to automatically send you there. We're rating her, so it will automatically send you there. But if someone could drop her link, I would appreciate it. Okay. Let's finish this up. Let's go. Bye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did you provide an order?
Certainly, we'll get that e-file today, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Thank you. You're all set for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.